Gonzo, Gonzo, long time no see.
Indeed, I'm on holiday, as you can see. The sun is shining. Well, there's been a bit of sunshine and rain, which is why we've got a rainbow.
Yeah, I better say you've been slacking. I've been doing previews, reviews. I know in 23's video you've done nothing.
I've done nothing, mate. I've done absolutely nothing. I've tried 3 times unsuccessfully to catch a fish out of the sea. I don't think there's any fish in the sea anymore. Caught some crabs. Well, not like
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I've had a nice holiday. Thank you.
My season ticket came today. Look, okay, my season ticket's in there. That's good news. For you that don't know, a lot of people are asking why we're getting new cards. Last year, you could enter through various turnstiles. Me and Gonzo could enter through FGH. On the back of your season ticket now, you're being allocated 1 turnstile, so we can only go in through F. Should help the queuing system at the back of the East Stand, hopefully, because that was a bit of a disaster last season.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, there was a bit of a mad rush, and they did all seem to congregate around that area. I think that's a popular area because you've got the bridges there, plus you've got the club shop, and you've got the ticket office. So I just wonder how many people are getting last-minute tickets, last bit of shopping, or just running over from the station. So that was busy. So hopefully it will disperse it because of the nature of the concourse inside. You can go in any gate and walk round. So I actually think that will help.
I was hoping to speak about this before, but we haven't done one for a couple of weeks because you've been away catching crabs. The Checker Trade tournament starts tonight. We're playing Swindon. Are you hoping we take this seriously?
Yeah, well, I didn't know about this tournament until you mentioned it on one of our cup of teas, and I really like the concept. I think it's probably good for the lower league clubs as well. Gives it a little bit more, gives them a glamorous fixtures, I think, against bigger teams, albeit the under-23 teams. I think it also helps their clubs, Premier League clubs, by giving the youngsters proper competitive games that aren't reserve team games, because you just know they're playing Swindon tonight or whatever. They're going to really go for it and give them a really good competitive match. I think it's very, very exciting. I think we're drawn against Wickham, did you say, in the group as well? Yeah, I'll look forward to that. I'll go to the one up in Wickham as well. So yeah, I think it's very, very good.
We're winning 1-0 at this very point right now. We're winning 1-0. Samuelson scored quite early on. I hope we win tonight. I hope we take it seriously. And I would like to see us do well in it, actually. It's quite a strong team we've got out tonight. We've got Martinez, Quina, McCassie, Holland all playing. And we've got that new boy who we'll speak about later on in a minute. Well, Gonzo, I've had my say with Bez. Did you catch the West Ham game?
I did. I watched it on playback, so I watched it later on that evening rather than live. Yeah, I was unsurprised, I've got to say. I did say before I thought we'd be lucky to get away with 2-0. Turned out to be 4. They were big, they were strong, they were very athletic, and there were some bad performances. I mean, you touched on it. I watched the review, and I thought you and Bez covered every topic really well. There's not an awful lot to add. I did think Hernandez was very isolated, just lacked any sort of support from him. I thought the midfield was dysfunctional. Masuaku had a terrible game. As you said, it was disappointing, but not unexpected, and it really did show what I've been thinking for a while. Is not only do we need Lanzini to stay, we actually need cover for Lanzini, because when Lanzini is out, we do lack somebody that has that guile to make that final killer ball. I agree with what a lot of people have been saying as well. I'm going to do for everybody I've had 5 or 6 videos for your shout, which I'm going to do tonight as well, and a bit of the feature of that. A few people were saying, is Ayew a winger? And I don't think. I think he lacks the legs to play on the wing as well. I thought that was evident. But I also do think that when he comes centrally, he links play very well. I think he's a clever player and he can play 1-2s. So I think he's sort of wasted out wide. Having said that, I'm not sure if we'd have had Lanzini and and Cresswell playing at left back or whatever. I still think we probably would have lost, because I do think they look really, really good.
Yeah, I think Ayew just can't play counter-attacking football. When you need pace, you just can't play Ayew. Unfortunately, I think he's key for when you're going to have the lion's share possession at home and you need to unlock a defence. I think that's where you use it. But when you're going to be playing on the break, but saying that, Bullets didn't really have much options. If you took Ayew out, who did you put in? You would have had to play Holland, and if we got beat 4-0 and Holland had started, a few people would have took knives out, going, "What are you doing playing Holland and getting beat 4-0 at Old Trafford?" Is it important we would just draw a line under it and start fresh, going to Southampton, and just accept it was Old Trafford and try and take a few lessons from it? I still think there was a few, and when I say a few, I mean 2 or 3, a few positives to take from it, like Hernandez. I thought Zabaleta did well. I thought Rice did really well when he come on. I think there was some positives, but I think it's important. I think the judgment starts. Our next 6 games are massive now. We've got Southampton, Newcastle, we've got the Cup, we've got West Brom, Huddersfield, Spurs, Brighton. They're winnable fixtures. Those 6 games are double-figure points and then some.
They are, but normally, under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have your first 3 games, if you take the Cup into account, 4 away from home. So even if you did have a bad away fixture, then you'd be able to try and pull something back with a home victory. We are denied that luxury. Now, I've watched a little bit of Match of the Day. I watched all of the West Ham game. I watched a little bit of Match of the Day because of our prediction league on the forum, and which I know you've done very well in that, didn't you? And our fantasy football. So I did try and keep a bit of an eye on it. But I didn't see all of Southampton, so I didn't see what they were like. But so I think you can draw a line under it, but it's going to be difficult because their next 2 games are away from home, and I don't know. Newcastle lost. Did Newcastle lose?
Yes, they did. They played quite well. They were at home to Spurs. They played quite well, and Shelby got sent off for stamping/trodden on someone. His ankle. Dele Alli stood on Dele Alli and got sent off, and then it finished 2-0.
Okay, yeah. Nonetheless, I still think that it's going to be a tough fixture, which I know you're going to that game, aren't you? Newcastle away. So that's a tough fixture, that one. And I don't think Southampton's going to be easy, which I'm going to on Saturday. So yes, we should draw a line under it, but we need to get some points. We can't get to the Huddersfield game with 1 or 2 points in the bag, because then the pressure is on Bilic.
Yeah, what I will say is I think it's important that Bilic gives us more answers and questions on Saturday. I think we've got a few questions from Sunday, but not a lot of answers, and we need to switch that. Well, let's just, without talking about the performance, let's talk about one player in particular, Declan Rice. Last season, we gave teenagers 1 minute in the Premier League, Declan Rice. This season, we've already given half an hour to him. Is this the type of game, maybe not type of game, is this when we should be looking to introduce them? I mean, you could say the game wasn't over, or it was, but he got half an hour under his belt at Old Trafford. I mean, he's gonna take a lot from that.
Yeah, it's a bit once bitten, twice shy for me, because the first game of last season, don't forget, he put Reece Oxford in there, and then we saw him. I think possibly the next one was West Brom, can't remember exactly, but he played the next game as well, had a bit of a stinker, and then we never really saw him again. So what I would like, so what Bilic does is, I don't know. I don't know if we have to wait with Rice for the circumstances to be right. To me, he really does something really nice. I'd like about him, for a centre back to be that composed. Obviously, he played in the middle. He's got the idea already in his mind. When he receives the ball, he already knows what he's going to do with it. You can see it. You can see he's already got the picture. If it comes to him, and he's one of those guys that you don't mind passing it to, because he's the type of guy to say, do you know what? It doesn't matter if I'm marked. Pass it to me. I'll lay it off. I'll lay off the short 2-meter pass and then get it back. And what I really liked about him, because we all know he can tackle, we know he's committed, we all know he can mark, but his passing I thought was excellent. And also, if you look at the way he passes, he plays a lovely curve on his pass as well. So he doesn't just pass it to feet. He does that really sensible thing, which he passes it with a curve on it, a couple of meters in front of a player, so he prompts the player to move forward. So whilst he might not be playing an incisive pass particularly, he's very much saying, go on, move up, move up the pitch. I like him. He's got a positive mindset, plays a nice style of football. I'd have him in at the moment. I really would. Yeah,
to back you up, he attempted 23 passes on Sunday. 22 of them reached a teammate, 96% pass completion. Well, fine. Well, good news, bad news, I don't know, but we've been speaking about this guy every cup of tea over the summer, saying he's not left yet. He's finally left now. Figuli's joined Galatasaray. Did you see that video of him when he arrived at the airport? He's getting treated like a king. Thousands of people turned up to see him.
No, but they are fanatical fans, aren't they? The Turkish fans, they do love their football, and they Yeah, they love a new signing over there, don't they? They might be slightly disappointed when maybe the what the player that they receive is not quite as good as the reception at the airport.
Yeah, well, remember they practically gave Slaven Bilic a crowd surf all the way to his airplane. Remember, we all thought it was because he was a hero. You could argue they were trying to get rid of him. Maybe they were trying to get rid of him.
Yeah, no need to go through the customs procedure, Slav. Off you go on the plane, mate. Yeah, and they won the league. They won the league the next year after he left, didn't they?
Pagulio, disappointing for him to go. I mean, we could have probably done with him at Old Trafford on Sunday, actually. You could have argued that he's still a West Ham player. Perhaps he should have been there.
I think so, and I don't think he was useless. I was only joking before. But I think when you have got that much money tied into it, and it wasn't the transfer fee, it was getting the wages off, which possibly allows someone else to come in, risk something in the days of £1 million business deals. You don't risk someone getting injured. You wrap him in cotton wool and get the deal done and pack him off to the airport. Over in Turkey. I don't blame them at all.
To be fair, I think he was in the airport in Turkey before the game even kicked off. I don't think he was waiting around to see if he was in the squad. £4 million. I think Fagulio's owed quite a chunk of that, though. I don't think we're making much money out of that at all. But I suppose the key is to get his wages gone so that we can bring in someone else, and that's someone else, William Carvalho. Today that we've hit a bit of a snag. However, we'll talk about it in a second. The player himself, excited by him?
Yeah, I am. I don't normally know many foreign players that play in foreign leagues, but I know about this guy because, well, he's been the future for quite some time. He's been rumoured, we always talk about it every year, 4-4-2, do the most promising youngsters in Europe. He featured quite prominently when he was 21, 22. Arsenal were interested, Man U were interested. I remember it happening at the time. Yeah, he looks really, really good. He can tackle and he can close down, but also he's got a very, very good range of passing as well. He's quite bright. Funny enough, that's what I was saying about Declan Rice earlier, but he's also got added to that a very, very good range of long passing. He can play a sort of 25-yard ball, switch to play, very intelligent, very bright. And bearing in mind, we were speaking about Man U earlier, our passing was atrocious in that game. We could not keep possession. That's lovely, the stats you read out about Rice earlier, but in the main, the possession football was bad, and he was certainly helping that as well as protecting the back four. I would really want him. This is one of those next level signings that you'd like to talk about.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. I would say Hernandez, Wallace, Arnautovic, Hart, and Zabaleta can make cases pro and against really for each of them. I think this guy can't really make a case against him. I think this guy is the next level. We definitely need him. I think at Old Trafford we saw, and funny enough, I wrote on the forum not long ago saying I think we need a defensive midfielder, but genuinely couldn't think of who to suggest. I thought we could do with someone just to sit in front of that back forward. I couldn't think of anyone, but I didn't think we'd be forking out 30-odd million for a player this summer, truth be told. If we did, I thought it would be a top-end striker, not a centre midfield. Does this surprise you a little bit? Because we all said a right back, a striker, and a left winger, please. Not everybody said a centre midfield.
Okay, the position surprised me. The position surprised me, but when we discussed on one or two cup of teas ago, I did say there's got to be another money in the pot. There's got to be money. We looked at the maths. You thought so as well. There had to be money for another transfer. Now, I thought possibly another striker. I sort of hoped it was going to be an attacking midfielder, somebody that could recover Lanzini. So this has surprised me, but having seen, I didn't want to go mad after the Man City game because it was a friendly, but I looked at that central midfield and I thought, that is not functioning correctly. They're not passing the ball. And I think that one was Obiang and Fernandez for that. And then you looked at it for the Man U game and I thought, well, that's not functioning either. And they just, whatever, the combination was not good. So having seen both of those games, I can see the need for someone that's going to be a better player. A £30 million player in the middle of our football pitch is going to really benefit the team. There's no doubt about that.
Are you impressed? I have to say, I've got to hand it to the board if they do pull this off, because while the net spend will still be slightly less than 50 million, which is sort of expected and standard, paying 30 million up front for a player like him is actually impressing me again, to be honest with you, Gonzo.
Well, I am impressed. I'd also be impressed with the business they've done by highlighting what a poor job they did last year and offloading a lot of those players that didn't work out. Starting to make profit on players, not quite. I said it on the forum, almost becoming like a Chelsea light, if you know what I mean. Getting players in, making a profit on them, and if that helps fund the other guys to come in, these better, bigger purchases, then I think that's very good. The other thing I really liked is I didn't hear a sniff of it until that first bid went in. Nothing. There was nothing. None of the big sites. So everyone had kept it quiet, which obviously meant the owners had kept it quiet. That impressed me as well. So I know Marseille possibly are trying to sneak in at the last minute or something, but the longer you keep it quiet, the less chance there is of these other clubs sneaking in. So I think the whole lot has been impressive. And if we get this guy and keep Lanzini, that's key, and keep Lanzini when that transfer window shuts. We got Carvalho, Lanzini, and Hernandez, and the other guys that you mentioned, with the youngsters coming through as well, and getting rid of the dead wood. You can't complain at that. You've got to be pleased.
Yeah, that would be 5 players we've signed, 5 players that start in everyone's sort of strongest 11, if you like. It does cause Bilic a headache in centre midfield, because all of a sudden you've got to pick who starts alongside him, because this guy would start, so you've got to pick who starts. And I know everyone's going to say, well, Noble gets dropped, that's fine, but then who do you drop out of Kiate and Obiang? And that's not going to be easy. Now, if only Kiate would just play centre-back, then we're solving a lot of problems. Having Reed and Kiate there, Carvalho and Obiang in midfield, sort of. But I think this is to put it into context, when this link first came out and it was like, West Ham want him, I thought, no chance. What a rubbish paper. That's clickbait, that. There's no way we're going to go after this guy. Turns out we are going after this guy. I'm impressed. I'm surprised that we're spending that much money on a centre midfielder. However, going by Old Trafford, it's needed. You can't really argue with it. We did sign someone else since we've last spoke. If I'm probably going to pronounce his name wrong, but I'll give it a bash. Haksabanovic. I don't know how you say it. Do you know how you say his name?
No, I did the other day when I read it, and I sort of started to say, well, I said, what are you doing? I was reading the paper saying it out loud, but I can't remember it. We'll go with your one. Yeah.
Call him Seed.
So, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's a young player. Hopefully he turns into something. It's a fee, 3 odd million for a young player. But he has been playing first team football. I think that's the thing about him. He's not come from someone's academy. He's been playing football. He's played 70 odd senior games, as I understand it. So he's playing tonight, isn't he?
Yeah. Apparently, going by the commentary, he's gone close a couple of times. He's even hit the bar as well. So it's like you said, he's played lots. He made his debut age 15 in the Swedish top flight. And while you might think that's nothing, it's still, if you're 15, you're 15, regardless of what league you're playing, and you're literally boy against man.
Yeah.
And you must have some sort of talent. Granted, it's 15 years old and 11 months, so he just sneaks in on the radar. But he's still 15 or less. I'm claiming that one. Certainly, the West Ham fans in Sweden were saying this guy's muster. This guy is the next best thing coming out of our country, and we've got him here. So I'm surprised he wasn't involved at Old Trafford, though, because he didn't play on Friday night and under 23's first game. And given all the experience he's got under his belt, I thought we were maybe taking him up. We might have done the same with Nathan Holland. They might have travelled, just weren't in the squad. But it's promising, this. I like these signings. I like these purchases, and it's very well getting Hernandez and Zabaleta. But I think it's important that we do go get 18, 19-year-olds that are promising. They're low risk.
Yeah, I mean, they are, and you only got to look at what happened with Ashley Fletcher. So it might work out. It might, he might work out as a West Ham player. He might not. But if you can look to offload these guys, if they don't work out for 5, 6, 7 million pounds, then you've made a profit, and it just rolls into next season's transfer pot. And that's really what I mean by being a Chelsea light. So, yeah, but it also strengthens the under-23s as well. And as we've just mentioned, that looks like they're taking things like the Checker Trade Trophy more seriously as a new competition. Obviously, they've been promoted to the higher league now as well, the academy team. So, yeah, it's very, very good. It's good news all round. Hopefully, makes it but it's a very, very small outlay comparatively if he doesn't.
According to the live chat, it's now 1-1 in the Swindon West Ham game. They might be winding this up, though. We've actually got a couple of people going to be sending us clips from the game. So there'll be a video on our YouTube channel late tonight, early tomorrow, which is Wednesday morning. And we'll also have a match report on our forum at hammerschat.com from someone at the game as well. So if you want to read a fan's opinion or hear a fan's opinion, you know where to go. It's come out today that it's hit a stumbling block, though, Gonzo Carvalho, sort of Sporting are demanding all the money up front, 36 million, or pay it 36 million fee, rather than 30 million plus 6 million in add-ons, or we have to increase the add-ons. We're being linked with Porto's Pereira. Do you know much about him?
Are you just sorry, mate? I'm sorry. I'm struggling with a signal here. I don't know if are you receiving me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. We're saying that the Carvalho link, it was apparently hit a stumbling block today, and he was saying that Pereira
and this other guy, yeah, he's I saw the link himself. He's a young lad, isn't he? This guy, he's very big. Apparently, he's a big old unit. Sporting Lisbon, and we don't want second choice. We want to go out and make the deal happen. Maybe it's a little bit of smoke and mirrors, you know, that they're trying to just encourage the Carvalho deal to happen, you know?
Yeah, I think it's smoke and mirrors. I think Sporting know he's leaving. Their manager sort of quite... He's not saying he's not going anywhere. The manager's quite encouraging to the sale, if anything. Any other transfer news of that? I mean, Snodgrass has been linked with a warm move away, as he always has been all summer, and he wasn't included at Old Trafford. But is there any other transfer links you've seen?
No, but I've not had my finger on the pulse. To be fair, it's wherever, as you can probably tell, I've got quite a bad signal here. Where I was before down in Devon, I had an even worse signal. So I've been, you know, looking for snippets of information here or there. So no, not really. As far as the Snodgrass thing was concerned, though, I did see somebody mention that it might be a transfer deadline day deal, and that sort of made sense to me when I read that. I thought, yeah, that's probably highly likely to happen. We might make a small loss. Almost like Valencia, though. Any money we can get back has got to be good for us. Got to cut our losses. He's not going to play a part for us.
We'll start taking your questions in a few minutes, and we've got some more news to rattle through. First of all, a couple of well done. First one to Dino X on our forum at hammerstrike.com. We've got a free prediction league. It's free to enter every week. In our first week, we decided to give away a signed Tony Cotti photo to the winner of week 1, which was Dino X. So he's won that. Congratulations. And Longshanks, who's currently leading our fancy league. Come on to our forum at hammerstrike.com. You can get involved in either competition completely free. We're giving away prizes all season. Gonzo, have you seen the third kit while you've been away? It got leaked from Singapore this time. It's always an Asian country, but Singapore, we've now seen the kit. Do you like it? Light blue?
I do. Yeah, I love it. I think it's the best one of the lot, actually. It looks really, really nice. I may even be tempted to get one myself. Very, very nice. Very stylish. Love the old style crests. Good. Really good shirt.
I like it as well, actually. I'm a bit wary about this crest, actually, because since we didn't get to wear the Thames Ironworks one in the competitive game, I am wondering how are they 100% sure this one's okay first before we start flogging at 50 quid or something. But it looks really nice. The Cheltenham game next week is on television. So our Carvalho, I don't know how you say it, the League Cup game against Cheltenham Town. Are you pissed off that we have to play away for this one, actually? Because we got drawn at home, but we also had to play away. We're having to give up our gate receipts, which is not much, but we're having to give up. We're having to give compensation to Cheltenham Town as well. But worst of all, we're just giving up our home advantage.
Well, it's possibly the worst thing about, you know, the athletics has been this, because we could just stumble at the first hurdle, and that's a serious thing. You know, we've got 2 cup competitions, we're in 2 of them. We could go out of one of them just by giving away our home advantage, and I have to say that's a hell of a thing to give away. Also, I'm pretty sure Cheltenham would be pretty pissed off about it as well. Yes, we've compensated them, but that's a lower league team, and we might whinge about our stadium and this, that, and the other, but for a club like that and for their fans, that's a big day out for them as well, to come up to London, to come to that huge venue, to watch their team play in a bloody massive stadium. Yeah, I think it's bad for all concerned, actually.
Yeah, it's pissed me off, actually, because it doesn't matter who you play. And I know a lot of people say, "Oh, you should be winning that." Well, on paper, we should be, but this is a cup game. You know, this is. I don't mean to be disrespectful to them. This is essentially their cup final, if you like. Those boys would be pumped up of it. I know you're saying they'd be pissed off. I agree with that, but they might be pissed off in the boardroom at Cheltenham. But I bet you those players are delighted that they're getting to play West Ham in their little ground that holds 7,500 people. Place will be sold out. They'll be well up for it. They'll. Well, let's put it this way: Sky Sports can smell an upset. That's why we just got pumped by Man U. We looked like a League Two side, so they're thinking, let's get West Ham on the TV against Cheltenham, and let's hope we've got an upset. And if we do, we can blame the London Stadium as part of the reason as well. So that's really annoyed me. Southampton, you're going to Southampton, so guys, we'll have our Southampton preview on the channel.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night, the following night, Charlie's got a new series which he's going to be doing, and then on Saturday we'll have the review, and on Sunday we'll have Gonzo's vlog from the game. Gonzo, your friend Masuaku has been called up for the international duties, away to play for DR Congo.
He's French.
Yeah, but he's switching his allegiance. He's decided he's not going to France.
Yeah, I guess it's they can put out two teams of absolute quality, can't they, France? So I guess I think we'll be seeing less and less of that, because I just think international football's dying on its arse, actually. I think players used to be desperate to play international football. You had people like Andy Townsend go and represent the Republic of Ireland. Lots of them. All countries have done it. England do it at cricket, and football. You're going to see less and less of that happening, actually. So I don't know why he's desperate to play international football. I just think it's old crap, really. But listen, if he wants to do it, good luck to him.
Well, it depends how you look at it. I'd like to think a lot of players still consider it to be the pinnacle of their career, getting called up for international football. The fans are certainly switching that off for international football, that's for sure. I was thinking that earlier, actually. It's World Cup season. I can't remember the last time I've gone into a season, so not even thinking it's a World Cup season. I mean, normally I'm quite excited that the World Cup's coming at the end of the season. It is the World Cup year, isn't it? Yeah.
Russia.
Yeah, it's World Cup year.
Yeah. Everyone's going to get beaten up. Yeah.
You were making me think I was wrong. No, it is World Cup year. I'm not even excited for it yet. Right, let's move on to some questions. We'll start with the first one. I think we know how we're going to rank this one. But Sam, how worried are we about the transfer window?
Oh, no, I'm not worried, Sam. I'm at a number because of the crabs.
Yeah, I'm not worried at all. With 97 MR, someone says, where do we need to improve? We've still got some of the transfer window left. We've still got just over 2 weeks left. Where do we need to improve?
It's got to be covered for Lanzini. I have to. Sacco coming back. Let's really hope that everyone's vindicated by that. Sacco comes back and Andy Carroll is fit. And if we're playing one up front, then we've actually got 3 fit strikers. And then Ayew can play there if not. And then maybe Martinez. And maybe it will vindicate the decision not to buy another striker. So let's leave that alone. To creativity. That's the one extra thing we need. Without Lanzini, we lack a killer ball.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind someone fast, to be honest with you. We were lacking at Old Trafford. Bilic said at the end of last season he wants to add pace. Well, we've not done it yet. It's a bit... Well, where's the pace coming from? That was evident on Sunday. I still think we need another striker. I know Sacco's back, but I'm still a bit... I'd be very worried if the window's shut tomorrow, because all it takes is one silly tackle on Hernandez, and all of a sudden we're playing Sacco up front and Martinez on the bench, and that's not something I'd be comfortable with, to be honest with you. The vlogger says, do you think Carvalho will actually come?
Oh, I think he'll come. I think the fee's agreed, isn't it? The wages are agreed. Sorry, yeah, the fee with the club, which needs to be rubber stamped. I think the player's keen.
Yeah, I think he's going to come as well. I'd be surprised if he doesn't. I think this Porto link today is all just a distraction, trying to force Sporting's hand to say, look, we've got more than one option, so if you want our money, you want our 30 million, you've got to give us him now. Gary is saying, what do you think on the bench on Saturday? Now, I don't know if he means who do we think should be on the bench on this Saturday, or if he's talking about the bench from Sunday and he's just got the days mixed up. But I want to mention, I'll pick the Old Trafford one. 5 defenders on that bench, Gonzo. 5 defenders.
Right, okay. So forget the fight. So who are the other 2? I take it one. There was a goalkeeper because there's 7 on the bench, right? And who was the one?
Sacco. It was the other one.
Of course. Okay, so Snodgrass wasn't on the bench at all. Well,
he was missing. David Gold said he didn't travel, and there's some reports saying he's injured, and there's some reports saying it's because we're trying to sell him.
Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, there's two things. If we are down to the bare bones, as they say, to that extent, then you have to question, number one, why Cullen was sent out, because actually it would have been wise. Bolton are not in a position of strength. We are the club in a position of strength. We could have said, look, Bolton, you can have him in a month. Okay? We're going to keep him. We could have kept him. And why wasn't Nathan Holland on the bench then to at least give us another winger on there? Seems silly to stack it with 5 defenders, but I do think that is almost indicative of the mindset we went. We're going to keep a clean sheet and we're going to shut Man U out and we're going to be defensive. So that's probably why he packed it. Hopefully it's just a lesson learned and we don't ever speak about it again.
Yeah, I think the bench was a bit of an eye-opener, but I think it's also a reminder to the board that we're not quite done into the window yet. I don't think that's what Bilic's intentions were. I think he's just picked his most senior bench possible, and it so happens that 5 of them are defenders. You could argue that Creswell could have come on and played further forward, or come on and put Masuaku forward. Byram could have come on and played right wing like he has. Rice did come on and play centre midfield. But on paper, there are 5 defenders, and that's not ideal. That's the one thing I will say. I felt sorry for Bilic in a way that when the team come out, I thought, well, we got a goal down. How's he going to change the game looking at the bench? He had Sacco, but that was it, really. You've not got much game changer. I do think he should have took a chance with Holland on the bench. There's no point in having Font and James Collins on there. There was no point whatsoever having 2 centre. He was just too chicken to drop one of them for a 18-year-old untested winger, but he should have done that.
Yeah.
Nibbles is saying, if Bilic does go, it's possible, I guess. Who would you like to get to replace him?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even think he can go at the moment. The time to do that was at the end of last season, if you're going to do it, because that's when some managers are available. Now everyone's just scratching around. I'll tell you what, though. I'll tell you what, if it did happen, Benitez seemed pretty damn unhappy at Newcastle. I reckon the right offer being put in his direction. He's not a silly boy. I think he said he'd sign, and his contract has stipulations with certain promises from Mike Ashley. Those haven't been met. It doesn't look like they have. Then I wouldn't be surprised if there's a clause in there which allows another club to come in. Maybe something like that would happen. But I mean, you know, that's off the top of my head being put on the spot. Maybe that's what I would do.
But I think Benitez would be high up the agenda. I was watching the Newcastle game on Sunday, and later on in the evening after our game, actually, there was a Mike Ashley interview. I was making the most of my Sky Sports subscription, basically. And he was basically saying he's there to stay at Newcastle unless someone even richer than him can come in. And he said, they don't expect it to happen anytime soon. So I think if Benitez isn't happy, then he's going to have to leave. But I would like to get David Wagner from Huddersfield. I've said it for a while. Monk as well is my other one, but Wagner is my main one. And the way he approached the game at Crystal Palace shows he's got the balls to try it. And I'll tell you something, he'll go to Old Trafford and attack Man U. He'll rather get beat 4-1 than try and hang on and only get beat 2-0, if you like. And that's the type of manager. That's what Bilic did his first year, and that's what Bilic I miss a little bit. He set out way too defensive. I think if we lost 2-0, I think he'd almost be happy with the result. I mean, it would be respectable. No one would have really raised their eyebrows at it. But I think that's a dangerous mentality to have. That's what got Burnley relegated the first time round. That's what got Middlesbrough relegated last year, and that's what's going to get Brighton relegated this season. That type of set-up shop mentality. Nigel Khan is asking, where is your cup of tea?
Nigel's a very naughty boy. There you go. There's my cup of tea. It's most empty. He's been over his videos. Mock the West Ham week. Watch his videos.
Obi-Wan says, what is the price for Lanzini?
Oh, Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan. There's no price for Lanzini, Obi-Wan. The The force is with Lanzini. He's not going anywhere, mate.
No, I wouldn't put a price on him either. All right, 2 or 3 people have asked about this one person. We've spoke about him a lot. I don't know who's coming, but he started on Sunday. We're linked with William Carvalho. Martin Noble. People are saying, what's your thoughts on Martin Noble?
Well, Martin Noble played the best pass of the game. I think Martin Noble dinked a ball over, which I saw in the first half, which actually gave Chicharito a shooting chance. Maybe it wasn't the best chance in the world, but there were meagre pickings at Old Trafford. So he did actually pop the ball over. He struck with his left foot. Hernandez did maybe. So I think there were worse culprits. I don't think there were many people came out much credit at that game, but there were worse culprits than Mark Noble in that game. It wouldn't be the first one I'd be picking. I thought Obiang was I love Obiang as a player, as a man, the whole lot. I really do. But it was a little bit off the pace, I've got to say, in that one. And so I wouldn't put I also think Fernandez is just not linking with Obiang very well. So I do think the midfield was, and I wouldn't pin the blame on Noble, to be perfectly fair.
Yeah, I thought he was fantastic. Well, I say fantastic. I thought he was good. I thought he was very good. I thought a bit confused why he went off. But this season, the players we're bringing in now, it's a question. Bildich's just got to decide how many bad games in a row are you allowed before you get dropped. Because one's probably a bit harsh, so it'll probably be a bit tough to drop Masuaku and Obiang for Southampton. Is it 2? Is it 3? How many poor games do you get to have before the person on the bench gets to come in? Because we've now got good options now. Last year, you could get away with 2 or 3 crap ones because the guy on the bench was also crap. So you didn't really have to worry much. There was a few players in our team that were quite comfortable and getting picked every week. Now, I think it's changing a little bit, and the guy on the bench is maybe not as good as you, but they can adequately replace you, and you can get out that side. But Scott says, what's your first team midfielder? Let's take 2 centre midfielders if we sign Carvalho.
If we see, Carvalho's not particularly fast, but he's big and strong. He'd give us a physical presence. I'm going to go a little bit away from you on this. I would see, in form, I'd just play Obiang there. I really would. At the moment, I would play Noble there. If everyone was fit and on the same form, I'd play Chiatti next to him, because I think there'd be another athlete next to him with Lanzini in front of them.
I would play Obiang. I would like to see Obiang with someone behind him to allow him to get off the pitch, to be honest with you. At Old Trafford, he was the one that sat. And I get why. Out of Noble and Fernandez and Obiang, he would be the one I would choose to sit. I would like to see him with the shackles off and do Chiatti's role, where he gets to go box to box, because we've seen his passing. His passing in the final third is really good sometimes. He can do defence split passes. He did it at Bournemouth away last season when we were struggling a little bit. Bang, pass in between the fullback and centre back. Biden was in behind, away he went. Was Man City in the pre-season friendly. He did it then as well. Through ball, Zabaleta was in behind. I would like to see Obiang given the license to go forward a little bit, and he can't get that license until we've got someone better than him sitting back, and this guy will be that. So I would like to see that. Bez is saying, if you had 30 million, it's quite a lot for another striker, who would you bring in?
Oh, that's a tough one. I don't know. I don't know. I really wanted us to sign at the start. I just wanted us to put almost all our eggs in one basket and try and buy Martial. I thought he was possibly ever taken. Having seen him and Rashford, maybe you're not getting him out of there now, and certainly you wouldn't for 30 million. So I don't think there are a bunch of strikers around that are going to score on. I think we got a £30 million striker. I just think we got him for 16 million or whatever. So I'm happy with what we've got there. Off the top of my head, can't Can't think of one. Maybe if we were, maybe a different type of striker, and maybe you would Mandzukic or somebody like that. But it's hard. It's hard, you know, without giving much thought to it. Yeah, maybe that.
Well, I'll piss people off here. Jamie Vardy. I would. I don't really like him. I think he's a diving cheat, but he's a fast goal scoring diving cheat. He hassles defenders, and I think that's what we're missing really. I think we've got the target man when he's fit. We've got the goal scorer poacher when he's always fit, but we've got him as well. We've got Sacco who can do a bit of hustling and bustling when he's fit. We've got the young guy. I think we're just missing someone with a bit of pace, and it would be Jamie Vardy. And I know that's going to be an unpopular decision, but he would get us goals. And I think very quickly we would forget that he's a diving, cheating rat once he starts scoring for us. Mark is asking, what's your opinion on Joe Hart? Sunday's debut. What do you think of him?
My opinion on Joe Hart has not changed at all. I thought Joe Hart is very vocal. I think he's a good leader. I think Joe Hart was good for the dressing room. I said all of this stuff before he came in. As a goalkeeping ability, I wasn't sure he was any better than Adrian, and I can't see one single thing that shifted my opinion. I saw him walk out. He was slapping everyone on the back. He was getting everyone in a huddle, being very vocal, and seems to be that big personality I knew he would be. Goalkeeping, was letting 4 goals on his. I think if Adrian would have been in goal, we probably would have let him 4 goals as well. So my opinion hasn't changed. That's what I think.
He made a couple of good saves. I thought he made a couple of good saves. Couldn't really do anything about the goals except the last one, but I think everyone had given up by then. His distribution scared me a little bit. A couple of times he got passed back. He sort of went sideways and took that touch. He was getting closed down. He had put out for throw-ins. I thought, don't do that, please, no. But I think I've got to remember that's Joe Hart in goal, and it's not Randolph or that way we've seen these errors. I thought he did fine. To be honest, I'm surprised he didn't come running out and punching someone at one of these defenders at some point. I'm surprised he didn't throttle at least one of them. Paul is asking that Brentford boy, what's the latest on him? How do you say his name? Is it Jota?
Something like that. Yeah. He's not. I mean, he would be the guy, wouldn't he? He'd be the guy that would provide a little bit extra creative spark. So
yeah, I can't say him.
I've never seen him play, mate. I can't.
Yeah, I was about to say I can't say I've seen much of him. People that have seen him say he's really good, but I think it depends. It's Snodgrass. I think it's Snodgrass leaves. I'd expect to see him turn up at West Ham. Jordan is asking, will we struggle this season?
Well, I think we'll struggle at the start. I think we have, Jordan. We've got too many good players to struggle all season. I think one of two things will if were we to struggle, one of two things will happen. We'll have a struggle for the start until we get some home games that are favourable and we'll start winning again, or we'll struggle at the start. We'll still struggle when we get our home games, and then we'll just be a squad of really good players that are struggling, and then the board will get rid of the manager and someone else will come in, and the players are so good that we'll start playing well again. We are too good to finish in that bottom 3 this season. Our squad is just too damn good. But I think there'll be a little bit of a rocky road before it gets a little bit smoother. That's for sure.
I think we'll find out Saturday. Southampton have not scored a goal. Now I'm aware this goes back to last season. Southampton have not scored a goal in their last 6 home league games. They had 29 shots at goal on Saturday against Bournemouth. 2 on target. Okay, now they're hit a drought. I cannot think of a better team to go and play away from home. Actually, if you said who would you like to play away from home this weekend, I'd probably pick Southampton. In all honesty, now watch this come back and haunt me.
That's West Ham, mate. It's West Ham, mate. That Gabbiadini's going to score a hat trick.
This is the perfect opposition. Someone who is struggling, where the crowd are getting a bit edgy. Their best player wants to piss off, and this is the right team for us to play. We have to capitalise on that. A point depends what we get at Newcastle. I'll take 4 from the next 2. Obviously, I would prefer to win at Southampton because it eases you. You calm down. You get a point at Southampton, you're going to think, oh crap, we need to get some. I would take 4 from the next 2. I said 4 from the first 3. I'm not going to change. But I can't see us struggling. We've got too many good players. I'd be shocked if we were anywhere near that relegation zone. But next 6 games is our Sunday won't define our season. The next 6 games will. They will really propel us, show us where we're going to be and what we're going to do, I think. Scott, now this one was a social media topic. It was a Sky Sports topic. You might have seen this when you watched it. The second goal, when they were getting ready for the free kick, Reed and Masuaku were standing either side of Lukaku.
Yeah, yeah.
And Masuaku was laughing. Now, Gary Neville tore into him saying, you can't be doing that. It's unprofessional, blah, blah, blah. What's your opinion on the laughing? Not the marking, the laughing.
Listen, I don't mind people having a laugh and a joke. Maybe who was marking him?
Masuaku was marking Lukaku, and he was seen
marking Lukaku. Yeah, I thought Reed was a little bit. I didn't know why. Okay, firstly, I didn't know why. Let's do the tactics first. I didn't know why Masuaku was marking Lukaku. It should have been Reed's man. He's too small. He's only a little. He's only a little. I've met him. I'm only a little geezer myself. He's not. He's hardly any bigger than me. So he's not a big fella, right? So he shouldn't have been marking him at all. So that's the tactics out the window. But then if you are laughing and joking, you're not concentrating. So that's my problem with it. Actually, it cut to it later, and Bilic was laughing and joking with Mourinho on the sideline at 3-0 down. So, I mean, if you're going to make friends in a game, fair enough. But that wasn't the time for it. And I just feel he wasn't concentrating. You can't be. I don't think you've got to be sworn enemies with everyone you're on the pitch with, but bloody concentrate. And whilst it might not have been his man, just concentrate.
Yeah, I think Reed was marking. Everyone's been saying about why was Masuaku marking Lukaku. I've watched it. I don't think he is. I think Reed's the one marking him. However, Lukaku does the ball's basic movement, and Reed's just stood still watching the ball while Lukaku's behind him shuffling. And then Masuaku sort of sees Lukaku move and tries to go with him, but Reed's the one marking him. As for the laughing, honestly, I'm not that bothered. Really doesn't bother me. Kevin Nolan used to be seen laughing all the time. And I'll tell you why he was laughing, because he's probably winding them up. He's probably in their ear saying stuff to them. And Masuaku could have been doing that. Unless you know what he said, you don't know. He could have said anything to Lukaku. Might be trying to get in his head, wind him up, tell him he's not going to get anywhere near this week, whatever. So it doesn't really bother me as such, as long as he tries. Now, I do think he tried at Old Trafford. He was crap, but I thought he tried. I'm not going to say that he stood around doing nothing. He was tracking back. He was getting on the ball, getting forward. His head never went down, I don't think. I just think he was a bit rubbish and he was caught out defensively. So, yeah, it doesn't bother me too much. Right, if there's any more questions, we will take one or two more. Obi-Wan is saying, if we sell Lanzini, would you sign Barkley and Jack Wilshere to replace him?
Well, I would have happily signed Barkley, but I think Barkley's injured now. So, Barkley and his advisors have not played this one, and Everton maybe have not played this one too shrewdly at all. It seems like he's picked up an injury. Maybe he won't even play now, so possibly he might have to then sit around unwanted in the Everton squad for the next 6 months or up until January, and then a lot less money. I would have taken him now to replace Lanzini. I don't want to replace Lanzini. No, I really don't. Wilshere, yeah, I mean, I'd rather have Wilshere in than that geezer that was doing all the dabbing on the videos the other day. The one in the French leagues. I don't want it. I want Lanzini and Wilshere or something like that. That's what I want. I still think we need another one, but I can't contemplate it. Well, I have contemplated it, but I don't want to contemplate the thought of Lanzini leaving. He is so pivotal to our team, and it's something. I'll give him. He said it right. James Kell on the forum said we are so devoid of creativity in the team that actually we cling to everyone that we have. And I remember being like that. I've been like that for ages. I remember when we had Zarate and Mon, not two players you'd ever hang your hat on, but it was so shit and devoid of any flair, Allardyce's team, that you thought, well, actually, these aren't on any cold for it, but oh yeah, come on, do something. And I think we're lacking any sort of flair in the middle, that Lanzini becomes so important. Lanzini maybe isn't a world beater, but he's almost the only guy we've got to do that job, and that's why we need another one.
Yeah, I wouldn't swap him for anyone, to be honest with you. no chance. Nibbles is asking why we don't look to Russia for talent. Well, I'd imagine we do look to Russia for talent. I'd like to think our scouts are in Russia anyway. I'd like to think they're in all major European leagues. We'll start wrapping that up. The last one we'll take from Mike says, what has changed since the 2015-16 season to make us so much poorer?
I think there was a very special set of circumstances. The biggest one was it was our last season, and at the old ground, I think everybody was up for it. I think the fans were up for it. I think there was a whole vibe running through that club that we had to perform. I think there was a master stroke with Payet coming in, which was just a huge thing. I think, even though it took him a while to play, we got lucky and we unearthed a gem in Antonio, and also played well. It was the perfect storm, if you like. It doesn't matter what people say about Payet. The best player we've had in a considerable period of time. He was banging in free kicks for fun. He was creating chances. He was creating assists. He was one of the best offensive players in the league. He absolutely was, and he was up for PFA, and it's going to be. We've not had too many players up for PFA, and we'll look back statistically, and at that one season, we will look back on that in years to come and look at the stats and look what he did, and realise that he was very, very good. And it doesn't matter if he was a snake or whatever, he was a load of trouble. You take somebody that creates that many chances out of the team, or he took himself out of the team. It wasn't our fault. It was his fault for being such a sneaky bugger. You can't replace it very, very easily, and I think that's got a lot to do with it. Plus, we haven't addressed that striker thing. It's gone on. We've done it now, but it dragged on for 18 months. The lack of a striker and a lack of a balanced squad. I think three things: the new stadium. It all combines.
Yeah, I think it's significant factors. The last year at Bolin and Payet, the perfect transfer window, and then the opposite happened the following year. We moved to a ground that we're not familiar with, so much problems, Payet, and a shit transfer window. So I think there was two. This season, we're going into it with a good transfer window again, and the stadium sort of sorted itself out. We do still have the 3 games away issue. However, if we get 4 points from the next 2 games, I think that 3 away game sort of factor disappears, in all honesty. You can't really use that as an excuse as long as you get the points on the board. But it is what it is. But I think we need to start looking forward. Stop judging Bilic on the last 2 seasons and start judging him on what we're away to witness in the next 10 months, if he gets that long, and see what happens, really. Hopefully we all enjoy it and we'll have a good season and a good time. Gonzo, is there anything else you would like to chat about?
Just let people know, as I said, I'm doing a Your Shout. I might probably get it. Thank you, Rose. And yeah, I'm just really looking. I'm going to Yates's with Stuart. Stuart would very kindly say thanks to the gentleman you tweeted the tweet out on Twitter. And so we've got my buddy's got a ticket, so he's going with me to Southampton games. We're going to go and have a few drinks and just hope and just enjoy the game and see something a little bit more positive. We just want to see us attack. We want to see some decent attacks, and if that's really gonna help things. So hopefully we'll be chatting next week in the week, and we've got something decent to talk about.
Yeah, well, there's plenty of decent stuff coming up on our channel, we hope. Tonight we'll have our under-23s video. Now, our under-23s video is actually different. There's one already on the channel from last week. Go watch it if you haven't already, and let us know if you like it, because if you do like it and you want to see more, we'll do our best to give you one for every home game this season from the under-23s. And if you don't like it, we'll probably tend not to bother, really. But let us know. We've got a one-off video coming very soon, which Charlie's working very hard on editing. It's a very much a labour of love. So when it comes out, I hope you all like it. We've got our preview for the Southampton game tomorrow night, Wednesday night. We've got our Charlie's new series starting on Thursday night, so make sure you pop along. And like I said, we'll be back with our review on Saturday. Gonzo vlog. Sorry, got heaps of content for you. We're spoiling you. Anyway, if you've enjoyed the video, drop a like on it, drop a comment below. Let us know your thoughts on everything we've discussed, or if there's anything we haven't discussed you'd like to drop your comments on. Join us on the forum at hammerchat.com. Subscribe if you're new, and we will see you very, very soon.